I still remember what my mother told me when I was little. I wanted to be a woman who can stand on her own 2 feet if you get to divorce in the future. I have 2 older sisters and a twin sister, so there are 5 women altogether. Maybe my father wanted to have at least a boy. Anyway, I had been feeling like I need to get it together as a woman in the future. In this way, the home environment affects our values, and it's already proven by psychological studies. So, all of us have different values, and our values don't have to be bound or forced on us by anyone. So, today I'm standing here to propose an effective workshop for gender equality. Through a workshop, what I'd like to tell Japanese children is just one thing. I'd like them to make their own choices without being bound by any stereotypes or their gender. According to the Global Gender Gap Report in 2018, Japan ranked 110th among 149 nations in global gender equality rankings. The annual report ranks countries based on 4 indicators. In the case of Japan, the score in the category of educational attainment and health and survival is quite high. On the other hand, in economic participation and political empowerment, it's low. That's why it seems that these issues often come up when we discuss gender equality in Japan. Women's political participation, gender wage gap, and the low percentage of women in management positions, paternity leave, and labor practices. But why do we need gender equal society? The reason is because we need to build a society in which everyone could play an active role regardless of their gender. To do so, of course, we need to improve policies or systems. But the more important thing is that Japanese people really need that kind of society. In addition, we need to live by all our values and respect various ways of living. So we are going to have a workshop for students in the 3rd year of junior high school. Erik Erikson was an American developmental psychologist. According to his theory, adolescents start from 13 years old. It's a time when children start to develop their personality, and they will face some simple questions like, what kind of person am I? What do I actually want to do? In addition, 3rd year students become more aware of their career options. That's why we are targeting 3rd year students. Now, let's move on to the contents. The goal of the workshop is to have students understand why gender equality is necessary and be able to recognize the importance of living by their own values. So the workshop consists of 2 parts, 15 minutes each, and each part has smaller goals. The goal of the first part is to have students think about why gender equality is necessary through discussion with their classmates. As an introduction, we are going to use the movie, The Intern. It's a movie about a young female CEO and a senior intern who is 70 years old. Jules is a CEO of a fast-growing e-commerce fashion startup and the mother of 1 child. On the other hand, her husband, Matt, quit his job and takes on duties of housework and childcare. She tries to balance work and family, facing a tough decision. So it's a good movie to consider some aspects in terms of gender equality. At first, students will watch some scenes from the movie to recognize their feelings about gender equality. And they will write down what it made them feel or notice on the worksheet and share their ideas in a group to get other views or opinions from their classmates. Then, they will do a role play. Get into pairs, and one student plays Jules, the other plays Matt. And they will discuss how it could be possible to solve their problems and make their own rules. After that, share the rules in a group, and they will discuss why gender equality is necessary. Next, the second part. The goal of the second part is to have students explain in their own words what ideas should they have to strive for gender equality. In this part, we are going to use Emma Watson's speech. In 2014, she gave a great speech for gender equality in the United Nations. She says, gender equality is not only about women's rights, it's everyone's issue too. So we are going to give students 3 questions related to the speech. First question, why do we need to inadvertent feminists in society? In the speech, Emma Watson referred to the necessity of the inadvertent feminist. It means our society needs more people who don't limit themselves because of gender stereotypes. So with this question, the student will consider how it affects the society to cultivate people like that. Second question, she also mentioned, if we stop defining each other by what we are not, and start defining ourselves by what we are, we can be freer. So what does her opinion imply? We want to make students realize that they don't have to be bound by any stereotypes in their lives. Also, they will write about what kind of person they are on the worksheet for defining themselves. The last question. What ideas are important for living without being bound by gender stereotypes? Students get into groups and discuss this question. And choose one student who will explain group's ideas. And the rest of the students go to other group to listen to other group's ideas. After going back to each group, share ideas with group members and discuss again. So, why is the workshop effective? Because it's based on student-centered learning. We encourage students to think by themselves through dialogic activities. That's why our workshop adopts some methods of group work. Also, video media, such as movie, is effective to get their attention. A gender-equal society could bring you a more livable society. So, as a first step, why don't we give an opportunity to children so that they could live by their values and respect various ways of living? We can start it with this workshop. Thank you.
My question is if your workshop is designed for Japanese junior high school third-year students, yes, do you feel confident that they will understand the contents of things like the intern and Emma Watson? You mentioned the word inadvertent feminists, for
yes,
example.
Yeah.
Do you think you can explain these ideas to them?
Okay, first, thank you for your question. Maybe the content is too much, I think, but it's possible to encourage junior high school students to understand all contents. It's because the movie, is useful to recognize their unconscious bias, student unconscious bias. And Emma Watson's speech also, she refers we have to cultivate people who don't limit themselves because of gender stereotypes. So junior high school students will notice that we didn't think about gender issues before, but they will notice that we can change the society. We can change Japanese society from themselves. So I think they can notice, and we can encourage students to notice and realize their issues.
But I think nowadays the junior high school students are very much concerned about the online and offline harassment and gender-based violence and discriminations, So I wonder why you did not touch upon these issues. So could you kindly explain? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. As you mentioned that, maybe younger people, the younger Japanese people, are exposed to so many ideas about gender issues, like SNS or internet, that kind of thing. But through this workshop, I want to make students realize that they have to live by their own values, and before they're just following the family's ideas, the parents' idea, or old-fashioned ideas. But now they have to notice that they have to make their values by themselves. So maybe in this workshop, we can't touch that kind of issues, but we can make students realize that the real issue is exactly that they have to live by their own values.
So how are you going to deal with the parents who disagree to raise their children equally? Because some of our parents were strongly affected by their culture. So how are you going to deal with them?
Okay, thank you for your question. For the problems, I'm thinking that maybe their parents, student parents, have so many ideas about gender issues. For example, my family has 5 women, so I was thinking that I need to get it together as a woman, and I have to get a job midway for a woman. So maybe each student have a different home environment, so each student have different ideas. Their parents also, but I'm thinking that maybe the most important thing is that each student have their different ideas, so not their parents' idea, and maybe I can't affect their parents' ideas, but the future generation is young people. So I'm thinking I have to raise their awareness about gender issues, not parents' issue. Thank you.
Okay. So you said the target, the workshop is for a third-year student in high school, but I think that they're busy with their studying, or they're almost the turning point for their life, because after that they're going to go to universities or some schools, or they're going to get job. So how are you going to motivate them to learn about the gender equality?
Thank you for your question. My target is the third year of junior high school, so maybe they have examination important examination like career option, one of the career option. So it's the most important thing of my workshop because when they choose their career option, they will maybe be aware of like their gender. According to the survey I found in the internet, it says the more younger Japanese people is affected by like their gender unconscious bias. So I thought I have to like conduct this kind of workshop like in spring or summer before they will feel more stress with examination or their career option. So maybe I have to hold a workshop like most early period in the third year, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you, Ms. Ogata, for a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.